Hey YouTube, hey Bold and the Beautiful fans. So today I have an update about Hope and Thomas on the Bold and the Beautiful, of course. And today we saw that Hope is pleading with Thomas for that restart, right? For them to reunite and to resume their relationship. That's what Hope thought when she saw Douglas come in and Thomas come in, and then Paris came in with an engagement ring. And of course, that is going to shake everything up now. And of course, Thomas and Paris are engaged to be married. Steffi and Ridge know about it too. And so what are we to make of all of this? Is this legitimate for Thomas and Paris? Are they truly in love? Are they truly going to be married? Is this meant to last? Or is this a way for maybe Thomas to try to get maybe a challenge himself? Maybe this is something that Thomas is doing to try to get himself over Hope. Because maybe on some level, Thomas feels that his relationship with Hope maybe isn't healthy. You know, in the past, Thomas was obsessed with Hope, and it led to some very, unfortunate things that Thomas was doing and manipulating the situation. Of course, he was going to marry Zoe, Paris's sister, and manipulated her as a way to try to get Hope to be jealous. There's an idea that maybe Thomas is doing that now with Paris, but I don't think Thomas is doing that. I think Thomas is really hurt that Hope wouldn't, marry him. Thomas proposed twice, but Hope even pointed out today that there's more than one way to have a commitment, rather than being married. That didn't mean that Hope wanted their relationship to end, okay? And there's also, Steffi was kind of persuading Thomas too, right, to leave too. And so maybe Steffi got in Thomas's head a little bit, but the fact of the matter is, Thomas left to Paris. He met Paris in Paris, okay? And the two of them resumed their friendship, and then they end up becoming engaged. And of course, Paris and Thomas told that to everyone today, Thomas to Hope and Paris to Steffi and Ridge. And they also said that they're in love with each other, okay? But are we to truly believe that this is going to last though? Or is this just a way to create angst maybe between Thomas and Hope and have them come together? Or maybe this is going to, will this motivate Hope to fight for Thomas, right? Or will it push her away from Thomas and maybe push her to become vengeful, okay? Maybe she's gonna blame Steffi more for all this, and maybe Hope will, pursue Finn, right? Steffi's husband. Of course, we know Hope has been having those daydreams about Finn, but we also know that Hope still loves Thomas, and she told him that today. She was pleading with him, to reconsider this, engagement, that they can still have what they had, and that, Thomas is a one-woman man. Well, is that true anymore? Is Thomas a one-woman man? Because if he loves Paris, then maybe he's not, or maybe he is, because the relationship with Hope is over. Now he's devoted to one woman, that would be Paris. So, and Hope even said that Thomas is still a one-woman man. But Hope also said that, that he and Paris won't have what they had, right? What they had was something special, but of course Thomas and Paris are saying what they have now is something special. The question is it going to last? And where is this going from here? One thing Thomas and Paris do have going for them is they have a good friendship history. And several years ago, Thomas did express that he was interested in Paris. Paris and Thomas were kind of roommates at the time, and Paris was with Zende at the time, so nothing really came of that. But Paris was really good to Thomas. She really helped him through a rough time when Thomas was, banished, right, from Forrester Creations. Paris was there for him, gave him a place to stay, okay? So she's a really good friend there too. So, and then when, Thomas goes to Paris recently with Douglas, Paris was there for him again as, Thomas is getting over the pain of Hope rejecting his proposal, okay? Because Thomas really wants to be married, and he moves quickly, right? He wants to be married, and I think for Thomas, he feels like Hope's never going to say yes, and Hope just needs more time, but Thomas feels like she's never going to say yes. So I think he feels like he has to get over Hope. I think he feels like that she's never going to say yes. And with Paris now, this is Thomas's way of trying to get over Hope, because I think he feels like it's just going to be dysfunctional, you know, when it comes to them having different goals. Of course, Thomas wants to be a married man. Hope doesn't, at least not right now. But of course, that can change now. But she doesn't want that commitment. Maybe she'll be ready at some point in the future. But if Thomas is with Paris, we're never going to see that happen. Unless, of course, Thomas isn't serious about Paris. And this wouldn't be the first time that Paris would get her heart broken, okay, you know, hypothetically speaking, if Thomas does end up leaving Paris, okay? We saw Paris left at the altar once before with Carter, right? When Quinn was, you know, rushing to stop the wedding there, and then Carter, you know, left Paris at the altar. Will something like that happen again, okay? Will Hope be motivated to try to put a stop to this potential wedding, engagement, you know, and future wedding, or will Hope be pushed away now and focus more on Finn? Okay, so that's one of the big questions that I've been asking. But we know that Hope wants to still have a relationship with Thomas. So there's hope for Thope, right? Thomas and Hope. And if Thomas still on some level, if some of those old feelings return, then maybe he can reconnect with Hope, and maybe there is still hope for Thomas and Hope. But then that means Paris is going to have her heart broken too. So I don't want to see that happen. So what's going on here is Thomas, does he really know what he's doing? Is he really in love with Paris? Or is this just his way of trying to put Hope, you know, in his past? Is Hope going to fight for Thomas, or is she going to be pushed away and you know, pursue Finn and cause problems for Steffi? So it's going to be really interesting. Ridge is going to also talk to Thomas and wonder about Thomas's motives too. But what do you think? Is Thomas and Paris, is it legitimate? Is it going to last? Or is this just angst for Thomas and Hope for them to, you know, reunite eventually and come back together? Or is this the end of Thomas and Hope? Let me know your thoughts. It's going to be really interesting to see how the coming days and weeks play out, but it's also very interesting and exciting. And hey, I'll have more updates coming, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon in the next video.